Keith Neumeyer, CEO of First Majestic Silver, joins me today to talk the company's latest results. Keith, good to see you again.
Great seeing you again as well, Daniela.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to get an update from you regarding First Majestic. But first, could you tell us a little bit about the situation in Mexico regarding COVID? How's the overall status of the workforce down there?
It's really come in waves. We're going into this additional wave now. We just had a group of people just test positive just a couple of days ago at one of the operations. So, it's just this constant battle that I think all the miners, well, probably all the industries just have to put up with. And, it's become this kind of new normal that we're learning to live with. And, we're putting in all the necessary protocols and just kind of accepting this new norm, as I said. And it's definitely a challenge, but, production is looking, pretty good for Q3. And for Q4, it's also looking quite good.
So with news of the vaccine, Keith, does that not make you hopeful?
It's really hard to say. I just can't get through the headlines. You never know really what is coming or going at this time. A lot of it's just PR and headlines, and you read this and you read that, and whether it's going to affect us in 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, who really knows. At the end of the day, we have to just move with the environment and do the best we can for the safety of our people and also the viability of the business, the production of silver and gold ounces.
All right, Keith, let's talk numbers now. You've ended the quarter with record cash as a result of strong production, higher metal prices, and of course, huge investment from Eric Sprott. So what are you planning to do with this influx of cash?
Well, people tend to forget that this is just starting. I did a tweet today and a headline that the miners are just beginning this great phase of profitability. If you go back to Q2, we had pretty dismal metal prices. Q3, we had very substantial increases in the metal prices, and of course, we were positively affected by that. We had $125 million in revenue, which is a record quarter for us, and $50 million in free cash flow, which is again another record for us. I'm a bull on silver and gold. I think this is just the beginning of a 5-year or maybe possibly even more bull market, but you never know. I'm the CEO of a 5,000 people mining company spread throughout Mexico, so I always have to kind of be a little bit conservative in how I manage the business. So I don't want to just go spend all the money today that we've just been building up, and Eric's money is all obviously important to us. I don't think he would appreciate us just spending it willy-nilly as well. So we're going to be looking at ways to develop the business further through innovation, through expanded exploration projects, and but we're going to be smart at the same time. We're going to come out with our guidance in January of 2021, and I'm hoping to see more treasury growth in 2021.
And you mentioned numbers, Keith, and I know we've spoken about silver price ad nauseum in the past, but it does have to add an element of excitement here with the higher prices we are seeing. You are one of the few CEOs that have gone on the record saying that you are eyeing triple-digit silver in the future. But shorter term, if we're looking at like a 6-month to 12-month horizon, short term, where could you see silver prices headed here?
It's funny you say that because, as you and I know, we've known each other for a long time. And I think I was probably the first to coin that phrase, triple-digit silver. And probably,
I think you were.
A long, long time ago. But just yesterday, I heard someone say that $100 silver is absolutely within the cards, 100% without a doubt. So that's a pretty strong statement. And I don't know if I've ever been quite that aggressive. I've always said triple-digit silver is likely going to happen, but I've never said it's 100% possibility. But more and more people are coming into that way of thinking.
Yeah, and I interviewed the person which you mentioned, Keith. But we should get T-shirts made, triple-digit silver.
Yeah, no kidding. We should probably do that. Yeah.
All right, Keith, could we get an update now on your 3 mines,
Sure.
Las Dimas, Santa Elena, and La Encantada?
Yeah, well, look, the second and third quarter were tough quarters. The company did not meet its production expectations. We came into the year hoping to produce around 24 million approximately silver equivalent ounces, of which about 60 some odd percent is silver and the rest is in the form of gold. So we only produced two metals, which is kind of a nice thing. But with COVID, that number is now down to about 21 million approximately. We expect to regain that ounces lost in 2022. So I can't say what the 22 production number is going to be yet, but I would suggest that they're going to be close to the number that we originally anticipated producing in 2021. Or pardon me, in 2020. So we're looking for a nice 2021 year as a result of all three mines up and running. La Encantada has just been fantastic for us. It's been, probably 5 to 10% above budget. It's made up all its ounces, or will have made up all its ounces lost due to COVID. San Dimas is slightly behind. It won't make up 100% of the ounces, but it'll be close. Santa Elena is a little bit further back. It likely won't make up all its ounces, but in 2021, with Ermitaño and the other work that's going on at that operation, it's going to be a good year for Santa Elena.
And not to get into politics, Keith, but many experts I had interviewed prior to the election were saying that should we see a Biden presidency, this would bode well for silver prices because of the Green New Deal, because of his focus and push on getting solar panels installed up until 2050. As we know, we need a lot of silver in solar panels.
Yeah.
Does this make a difference for you? Do you follow those headlines?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because it's interesting to me because I watch copper prices probably more than anything because copper is really the indicator of the direction of the world economy, and you see copper prices hitting 320 just this week. It hasn't seen those prices for I don't know how long, a couple of years, and silver is lagging. Silver's got caught in this gold trade, and I've been saying for years that silver is not gold. Silver is a very needed strategic metal that's required for everything that we do as a human race, including this telephone call or this Zoom call. And people just simply don't get it. And I'm often confused, why silver doesn't show up in the headlines as this very strategic metal that's necessary for all these wonderful green technologies that, yes, of course, the Biden administration and other governments around the world are pushing. So I think all these movements are fantastic for silver and, of course, copper and other metals. But I'm a silver guy, as you know. But it is frustrating for me because I think that the shareholder, the institutional investor out there thinks silver is gold or cheap man's gold, and it's not. Silver is very strategic, and it's an industrial metal required for to accomplish everything that we're doing as a human race.
No, definitely well said, Keith. But just wrapping here, bringing it home, what are you most excited about for First Majestic for the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, I suppose, silver prices or gold silver prices, but I'm still, we've come through, a 5 or 6 year pretty difficult environment. And we're now seeing these tremendous cash flows, and we're seeing, share prices start to get buoyed. And, I've been doing this for 35 years, and, I'm always got this suspicious nature, about me, right? So I'm cautiously optimistic that we're going to see what I think we should be seeing, because I think we're going to see ratio collapse. This ratio at 70-1 silver to gold, it has to change. Okay. I think it's going to be supply driven. And if we get to numbers, like Eric Sprott and others are suggesting we're going to get to, closer to 10-1, then you're talking about, as we go back to the original, question, triple digit silver, and that's going to put, quite as a win behind the sales of First Majestic. And, if we have a 2 or 3 year environment of those types of metal prices, which I think is likely going to happen, First Majestic will come out of that looking like a completely different company. And that excites me. So
wait, ratio collapse possibly within the year?
Well, I don't think 2020. I think we're too close to the end of.
No,
but yeah.
Yeah, 6 to 12 months. Wow.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
All right.
Yeah, and you know, you've seen this market. You've been around watching this market for a long time, and
Oh yeah.
you know when the money starts to come in to this tiny little market, we know is silver, one of our favorite markets, and you know it's a $25 billion market, and you have a bunch of institutions or investors around the world. You know, that's what drove silver prices. If you go back and look at 2009, you know, silver hit $20, and then it got all the way down to 10, and then within 18 months after that, it hit $50. So it happened pretty darn quickly. Yeah. I'm not hoping that's going to happen. I'd prefer to see, you know, a long-term sustainable, you know, uptrend rather than a big spike, because I don't think these spikes are healthy. But when the money comes into the mining sector, it can come in very, very quickly. And we've seen it many times.
Well, on that note, Keith, thank you so much for joining us for the lowdown on the latest quarterly results here. This is the first of many we'll be doing.
I appreciate that, and look forward to the next time.
Yeah, well, before I let you go, Keith, and everyone go, First Majestic is raffling off a 5-ounce silver coin to the person who can accurately guess the closing Kitco Spot Silver Price to the penny. That's the operative word, folks, on December 31st. 2020. Guesses will need to be entered as a comment on the First Majestic Silver YouTube page. It's 1 entry per user by the end of November. So that's November 30th, 2020. After November 30th, no new entries will be allowed. Am I allowed to participate? No, I won't. I'm kidding.
I was going to ask the same question, and we shouldn't allow any guesses under $25.
All right. Well, thanks again, Keith. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.